Hi, this is Mr. Ward, and I'm going to do a video key for Do Now 14.1. E. Okay, I'll be A block today. So consider the 2 points, 1825 and 3445. So I'll consider them. We'll even make a little graph for them, okay? So let's see, 18, we'll make it this 1825. We'll arbitrarily point that one as 18. Okay, and 25, cool. There's that point. Most amazing handwriting you've ever seen. And then we'll plot another point up here at, let's see, the other one is at 34, 3445. So we'll put that about there, okay? So 34 and 45. Okay, cool. We've got our 2 points roughly plotted here. Now the question asks us, consider them from the first point to the second point. How much vertical change is there? And we'll assume the first point is 1825 and the second one is 3424. So how much vertical change? Well, the vertical part is the y part. So you just got to say 45 minus 25. 45 minus 25 to find out the vertical change, because the vertical change is going to be this number minus this number. That's why we call it a difference, and it'll be 20. So the vertical change will be 20. Now let's think about the horizontal change. So the horizontal change is from 18 to 34. So for that, we want to know 34 minus 18 to find out what that horizontal change is. Well, 34 minus 18 is going to be 16. Okay, so now consider the fraction of the vertical change from number 1 over the horizontal change from number 2. All right, so that is going to be 20 over 16, which and I've asked you to reduce it, please. So if we reduce that, we end up with 5 over 4. Okay, cool. So did you get 5 over 4 or 20/16 before reducing? If so, congratulations. You have just calculated the slope for a line going through those points. So if I were to make a line going through those points, make it green. Okay, have a line going through these points like that. That line has a slope, so m is going to equal 5 over 4. What that means is wherever you are on this line, the rate of change vertically to the rate of the vertical change to the horizontal change makes a rate of 5 to 4. So you'll just constantly be going up 5 over 4, and you pick any place on this line. You go up 5 spaces and over 4, you'll end up on the line. If you go up 50 spaces and 40 spaces over, you'll be on this line. If you go up 1.25 spaces and go over 1 space, you'll be on that line, because those are all equivalents of the ratio 5/4. Cool, that's slope. So now let's take a look. Here's the slope formula. M is the letter we use for slope for montagne, or because mountains have slopes. And we think about it as the rise over the run, which you get calculating by getting the difference between if you have a point x1, y1, and x2, y2, you get the difference between the y values and divide that by the difference in the x values. And notice that there is an order to this. If we picked point 1, which is this one, x1, y1, we're trying to figure out the rise to y2, we're going to subtract y2 minus y1, and then we'll also subtract x2 minus x2 to get the run from x1 to x2. Okay, so Jimbo is trying to figure out the slope for a line going through the points 8, 7, and 3/17. So he subtracted to set up his slope formula, and I obviously had to tidy that up a little bit, but he did some subtraction to set up his slope. He set up his slopes equation like this, and he got a slope of 10/5 or 2. So here he goes. So he took the points 8, 7, and 317, and he went 17 minus 7. So here's what we do. He went 17 minus 7 on the top, and then he went 8 minus 3 on the bottom. Now, Jimbo made a very common mistake. What do you think it is? Well, if you think the mistake he made was that he subtracted 17 minus 7 and went in that direction for the vertical change, but went in the opposite direction for the x change, then you are correct. The actual slope for this is going to be -2. So if you ever notice yourself getting the opposite slope of what you intended, you're probably doing that. You're probably not keeping track of the direction of your subtraction. He went in different directions, opposite directions, when he calculated the differences. Now, it doesn't matter which direction you go as long as you keep it consistent. So the flow needs to be in the same direction. So he needed to say 17 minus 7 over 3 minus 8. And if he did that, he would have ended up with 10 over -5, which is -2. And he would have had the correct slope. By the way, if he had ended up with -1/2, then that would have meant he did change in x over change in y, which is another common mistake. If he did +1/2, he did change of x over change of y, but he went in opposite directions. All of those are possible ways to mess it up. Now, just a reminder, grades did close for the first trimester, but as you know, all earlier levels will remain available for upgrade in the new trimester. And you should take care of that. You should take care of that stuff for homework. I have levels all the way to 5B, both a quiz and a laser cannon battle commander ready for you using a formula called the point slope form, which is different from the slope intercept form. And some of you have asked for some group work. So go ahead and let me know what's up. By the way, if you have outstanding work, please let me know what your plan is for getting it handled, because in January and February, I'm going to be needing to make recommendations for math placement next year, and I'd like to be able to have you in a really strong position for that. So please let me know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now.